today this is an LC Creations tutorial, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make a zoo bigger. Now, for a long time in the Zoo Tycoon community, it is very well known that nobody really has known to do that except for Cretaceous Calamity. I don't know how to say it really. But I found out how to do that from Cretaceous Calamity people, and I found out how they actually did that, or how some people did that who weren't even part of it. And so thanks to him, that would be Hendrix from the Round Table, helped me figure out how to do that, and I thank him very much. So Hendrix, wherever you are, thank you so much for helping me figure out how to do that. Anyway, so let's get started. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go into Zoo Tycoon 2, and I'm going to show you my zoo that I'm going to use, and I'm going to kind of edit it a little bit and show you what you need to do. So let's get started by doing so. So here we are in Zoo Tycoon 2. So this zoo has it's still bounds are deleted. You don't have to do any of that. Basically, for you, you should just load a zoo. Just load any zoo, it doesn't matter. It can be a small zoo, large zoo. I prefer small actually, but this is a large. It's just that I already had this one prepared, so I decided I'd use this one. But I actually prefer a small zoo because it might not work. Might work with small zoos better than anything else. So, with that being said, I deleted the zoo walls, as you can see, and I made the terrain to where it could go as high as you want already. So now I don't have to worry about that either. So that's pretty cool that I figured out how to do that too. So it's gonna be pretty cool having a larger zoo. Now I do have to warn you about one thing, and that would be the outskirts of the zoo. Not the outskirts that I deleted the zoo bounds of, what I have a tutorial on. I mean these outskirts over here. The ones that have the parking lot on them and the driveway and all that. These outskirts out here, this is just a big huge mesh that surrounds, or a big huge model, a NIF model, big huge NIF model that basically surrounds the whole entire zoo. That's pretty much all that is. So if you resize the zoo, you have to mesh this to fit the size of the zoo. Now, sometimes you can have this terrain go over this here, but I'm going to show you how you can mesh this. I'm not going to actually mesh it and change the size, but I'm going to show you how you guys could do that, so that way you're able to do it. But I'm not going to do it unless the community really wanted me to, so I could design a new zoo. But otherwise, I might do it, but I'm probably not going to do it until someone wants me to make a zoo for Zoo Tycoon 2, or someone suggests it. Then I'll remake this, and I'll, resize the zoo and stuff. But otherwise, I'm not going to probably do it. I was going to, but I'm not. So anyway, yeah, out here this is just a big huge mesh, and I'll show you how that works later. So now we're going to save the game. Mine's already saved, but I'm going to save it over again just in case. And then after that, go back on the desktop, and I'll see you there. So when you get here on the desktop, you're going to want to again search for run, and do the usual. You know how to do this, and you can open that like usual, and then you'll see the terrain.dat file. Now, we have messed with this before, but not a lot. So, you can edit the file when it's in the saved game, and the game Zoo Tycoon 2, the thing I like about this is that you've probably already figured this out, but you don't have to close Zoo Tycoon 2 to do this, because all it is loading zoo maps and saving them and looking at them. That's it. So you don't have to close the game like you're making a mod and putting it back in. You can keep Zoo Tycoon 2 open the whole time, as long as you want. So, first of all, we're going to take the terrain.dat file. That's a different one, sorry. We're going to take this terrain.dat file, terrain.dat file, and we're just going to put it on desktop. Now, always put it on a desktop or in a different location that's not inside this when you're editing it. You do not want it inside the zip file, or the Z2S file, sorry, when you are editing it. Never do that. That is dangerous. It's not really dangerous. It could just, excuse me, it could just corrupt the file, make it to where the zoom app won't load, and it'll make the game not respond. So, after that, what you're going to do is you're going to go open terrain.dat file, and you're going to open it with XVI32. Now, I'm going to put that link to the software in the description. This is very important. You have to have this software to be able to do this that I know of, because this is one of the only softwares that I know of that I could even find to be able to do this. And actually, I didn't find it. Hendrix did. But I tried looking for other softwares like this and it didn't work. So, you're going to go to Data Inspector. I'm going to show you some things. Now, like Hendrix said, one of the instructions are change X by X float to desired size in the zoom app. Well, the floats is the IEEE signal, not IEEE signal 32-bit. Now, it doesn't say 32-bit right here, but there is a 32-bit. So, this long, I'm not really sure what those are. You can look at Hendrix's stuff if you want, that he was sent to him and that I used to, but it's not really important in this to me. So you're going to be looking for a certain size, like 52. Let's see, I'm not sure if it's 52, but I know, just a minute. So when you're looking in here, the IEE signal will say a certain size, and it won't be with a decimal or a negative number like this. It'll just be one small number with 3 digits or less. It'll be 3 digits. So one of them, if it's a small zoo that you're editing, it's going to be 162, the number that you'll find. And you're going to find 2 of these. It's the 5th, never mind. But then you'll find 216. That's a medium zoo. And then the number 288, that's a large zoo. So right now, since we're finding a large zoo, the number that we want to find is 288. So let's go ahead and find the number 288 in here, using the IE signal right here. So we're going to go to the 5th byte. So that's 1, 2, oops, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so there's that number, 288. Now this was very difficult for me to figure out. I could not figure this out at all until Hendrix helped me again, because it was very complicated. Now, then it's the 9th byte. So 5, 6, sorry. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There that number is again. So this is, I think it's the length and the width. So, like I said, that's the length and then the width. So, it's those 2 bytes that you're wanting to change, and those are the 2 that you're going to edit. So after that being said, like I said, it's the 5th and the 9th byte that define the sizes of the zoo. Now, after that, what you want to do is you're going to want to know this. Each zoo, or each one of these numbers, whenever you see this number, now you're like, my zoo isn't 288 grids long, it's only 97. Well, or 96, sorry. Well, you have to divide by 3. So if you go 288 divided by 3, that equals 96. So therefore, this is times by 3, because I think it's 3 grids is a meter in the game, or I don't know, something like that, because I don't know, it's the way they measure it. So all I know is that when you do mesh, it's like the same way. So when you mesh the outskirts of the zoo, you'll know the length of your zoo, because 3 grids in there is 1 grid in Zoo Tycoon 2. So what you're going to do is, say if you just chose a random size for your zoo, 7 times that by 3, that equals 21. That's the size of your zoo. Now let me tell you one thing though, by the way. When you try to make your zoo smaller, so far for me it doesn't work. You can make a zoo bigger, but for me you can't make a small zoo, and I don't know why, because that's not too laggy for the game, because it's smaller. So when you try to go down, it doesn't work. When you try to go up, it does, and I really don't know why. So after you guys know that, we're gonna not edit this yet, but we're gonna actually go into here and we're gonna go back into Zoo Tycoon 2. But first we want to delete this terrain.dat file. So we're just gonna delete that in there, and then we're going to close this, and then we're gonna go open Zoo Tycoon 2 again, and we're gonna reload. So when you're in Zoo Tycoon 2 here, you're gonna want to, basically you're just gonna want to load the other zoo. Now when you open up your zoo, it's gonna be all black, the terrain. So be prepared. See, it's all black. Means there really is no zoo, but there's a zoo size still. Now it's basically generating a new terrain.dat file. You can generate that yourself. Now also what it does is it resizes the zoo. We want this, but this isn't your desired height. This is just any height, and you cannot control how much this makes it. Now the size of the zoo, when it does this, is it resizes it to 120. So you can't control that. Like I said, you can't control how, or no, sorry, not 120, it's 102, sorry. It doesn't control, or you can't control how big, only the other stuff. So anyway, to make this normal again, you can't use this, you can't use this, you can't use this, or this. Actually, I think you can use this. Yes, you can. But you can't use any of those. You have to either place objects on the zoo or hire the terrain. Now, actually, you can use this. It does work. So basically what we're going to do here is we're just going to go through the whole zoo, and this kind of sucks. We have to do this. I'm actually going to make this bigger. It'll probably make it faster. And if I could zoom out farther, that would be great too. So I'm just going to kind of go through the whole zoo here, and boom, there we go, voila. We're going to basically regenerate the terrain.dat file, and keep some terrain at this height so you can resize that. And then I'm going to do this here, and I'm going to flatten the terrain, so that way our zoo has been generated. And you want this file regenerated, and the reason why is because it's a whole new terrain.dat file that's been generated, not loaded by the game in the Zoo Tycoon 2 files. This is like probably how Zoo Tycoon 2 generated their new zoo files. This is, like I said, this terrain.data file is not loaded by Zoo Tycoon 2. This is regenerated. This is a whole entire new file that has been created. by Zoo Tycoon 2 that nobody has ever played on. Now, they've played on something like this, but nobody's ever played on something like nobody's ever played on that before, on that exact file. Nobody's ever loaded this exact terrain.dat file. So, now we're going to save that. So, did I just save it 3 times? Okay, anyway, let's go and go on the desktop and I'll show you what to do now. So now as we're on the desktop, we're gonna go back to our saved game file and we're gonna see that our terrain.data file is back because we generated it, like I said. So again, you're gonna put that on your desktop, and then you, like I said, you're gonna go to Data Inspector and you're gonna find the 5th and 9th bytes, and you're gonna see that the zoo size has been changed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 306. That's 102. Basically, 6, 7. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 306 right there. So that's 306 and 306 here. Your zoo size has been changed before now. So now that that's done, we're going to learn how to actually change the zoo size. So let's say I want to change the size of my zoo to, I'm going to choose 230, or sorry, I'm going to do 150 times 3. Now that's 450. Now let me warn you that when you do change your zoo size, not every time this is going to work. After you do this tutorial and you try to follow what I'm doing, it's probably not going to work. I'm just warning you. You just have to keep trying over and over and over again using different zoo sizes. Now unfortunately that would probably mean, you know, it doesn't work, that zoo size. Now also what you could do is you could choose a different zoo size that you started out from. Like say if you start out from a large zoo like I did, you could start out from a small zoo and then try the same size. You just have to try different things, or you could just keep trying it until it works. But chances are if you keep trying the same size until it works, it's not going to work. You have to do different sizes, because that just means that that size probably isn't going to be compatible to computer, whether it's smaller or bigger. But eventually you will find something that will work. So that's how you do that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to edit this. And let's go to Tools and Encode Number. So I already have a number in there. Like I said, we were going to do that zoo, and the size of it would be 150 grids. So that's, if you times that by 3, that's 150. It's a good time to use a calculator because I'm dyslexic and ADHD and have a hard time with math, to be honest. But I love doing this, so. And then that would equals 450. So you'd put 450 in here, in this number box right here. And then right here, you're going to make it say overwrite at current address on the output right here. And then you're going to make sure that down here it says 32-bit IEEE signal. Do not do 64-bit double. Do not do longint. Do not do integer. Do not do word. Do not do byte. And do not do short. Do 32-bit IEEE signal. And then you're going to just basically click OK. Now you notice that it changed this. And then you're going to do the same thing. This data inspector says that this other one's the same thing. Now if it's not already on the 9th byte, you might want to make sure. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, usually already automatically brings you to the 9th byte. But like I said, again, it's the 5th and the 9th byte. Like I said, it's the 5th and 9th byte. So, you're going to go encode the number again, and it'll be the same way. And then click OK. Now, you just edited your zoo's size. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's make sure we did this right. Data inspector, 450, 6, 7, 8, 9, 450. So, hopefully this zoo works, because even in the tutorial, I'm afraid it's not gonna work right away. So, we're just gonna kind of try and see if we can check this out and figure out how to get this to work. So, after that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna save the zoo, and then, or you're gonna save the train.dat file, and then you're gonna put it like that in this file, in your file. Then you can close that, and you can go ahead and you can load Zoo Tycoon 2, and if this works, save the game and edit its stuff. So now we're in Zoo Tycoon 2, and we're gonna load the game. And hopefully this works. It might say it's not responding. Might work, might not. And it worked. Now we have this big, huge edited game, and you'll notice, whoa, I am kind of, yeah, you'll see that your mesh goes all the way out here. That's what I'm talking about. See, it went all the way into the background of your zoo. See? You're all the way in the background. That's what I mean. Because basically what this is now out here is it's just a big, huge mesh that you have to edit. So, right now we're actually going on the outside of the zoo. If you don't notice, which I'm pretty sure you do, we're actually on the outside of your zoo now. And we're going under everything and onto the background. This is kind of cool, strange. Always wanted to go out here in Zoo Tycoon 2, but never was able to. So, well, I don't really care anymore, but I used to, as a kid. So, we're basically going to go out here, and I want to hide the terrain so it goes above everything. Now, you're going to notice one thing. When you edit your zoo, you're going to see these horizontal things, and the terrain will not go up or down in this area. It stays exactly right there. Yes, there's a way to fix this. Definitely. I wouldn't show you guys this tutorial. This is not a mistake. This is not an error. Now, the first time I did this, I was like, what in the world? But just please don't worry about it. It really is fine. There's a way to fix it. Now, out here, it doesn't do that. It doesn't do it in kind of the area that you know, didn't edit or whatever. So, what you're going to do in this situation is you're actually going to delete your zoo bounds. You're going to like delete the, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain it. You're going to do some stuff to fix that, basically. Like, I don't know, you're going to delete the vert list. Remember I told you about the vert list. You're going to delete that. So after that's done, yeah, you can go ahead and save this. Doesn't matter how your terrain looks. Okay, that's a little too far. Doesn't matter what your terrain looks like. Oh, and by the way, on the zoo map, this is what it looks like. So like I said, it doesn't matter what your terrain looks like. It really doesn't. Your zoo, it's gonna, I don't know, you'll see, it's pretty cool. What you can do is pretty cool. So, Now what we're going to do is we're going to save this as Big Boral Forest Zoo. I'm actually going to save this as 2. That way we have kind of a... And then I'm going to go back on the desktop. So meet me on the desktop. So, now that we're on the desktop, we're going to go back into... I said that word so really weird, I don't even know why I said it like that. We're going to go into saved, and we're going to put this back on the desktop and replace it on the same file destination. And keep that open, keep that there. This time we're going to open it in HXD hex editor. So, I'm going to put the link to that in the description again. And so after you edit that, we're going to delete the vert list. So remember what the vert list is. It's everything after the last file name. So I'm just going to make this long list so far. And then I'm going to go all the way down here, and I'm going to hold shift, and then I'm going to click. So basically I selected everything, and then I'm going to backspace all that. This will pop up, click OK. So that way it looks like this. You just have this little thing that is like weird, yeah. So save that, exit. This should pop up on your desktop. Just don't worry about that. That's absolutely nothing. You can delete that. And then you're going to take terrain.dat, put it in there, and then close that and load Zoo Tycoon 2, and you should be good now. So now we're in Zoo Tycoon 2. Like I said, remember when we deleted the vertical list and everything was black? Well, that's going to happen again, because we had to redo all the terrain. Oh no, wait, actually it's not. It's not going to happen again. I take that back. That only happens when you actually just delete the file. Sorry, no, you know it's not going to do that. So, we're going to load this here. And we should have this big huge thing here that is like, what in the world? So, now when that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here, at least I am, and actually back over here, and we're going to flatten our zoo to the right height. And now we don't have those vertical list things in here. We don't have those really weird things going on. I don't even know. But basically, I'm just going to flatten out all my terrain. It's a little hard because all these meshes are blocking it. Like I said, you can edit that. I'm going to show you how to do that in a few minutes. That way everybody else can do it. I'm not going to do it unless that community wants me to make a download to do it. Then I'll do it. But otherwise, anybody can do this and edit a zoo. It's just that some people are going to have a hard time with, you know, some of the stuff. And so just keep flattening out your zoo as much as you can. I'm trying to go as quick as I can, so I don't take too much time on this tutorial. It's already been like 20 minutes probably. And so I'm just going to keep flattening this out. And keep going. It's taking a long time. This is what happens when you play the game and you have to do all this stuff. Okay, so now I'm done. And now I'm gonna save the zoo right here. So, save the game and overwrite it. So now you basically did everything and you're pretty much done. Now I'm just going to show you guys some stuff on how to edit the outside area of the zoo. The outside area. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now, and alright, bye. So here I am on the desktop, and I'm going to show you guys how to edit the outside area of the zoo, and I'm going to go into the location, the file location for Zoo Tycoon 2. So you're gonna go into the other, I'm gonna open this with a new window, and I'm gonna go into Program Files 86, or Program Files if you have 32-bit, and Microsoft Games, and Zoo Tycoon 2, and I'm gonna go all the way down to 300_000. So when you open this, you're gonna go to World, and then you're gonna go to Environments, and then you're gonna go to Skirt, and then we're gonna go to Boreal Forest, because that's the one that we were using, and then we're gonna use the large one, which is 280, which actually this size is really 288, so I don't know why they put 280, but that's that. But 260 and 162 are the other. So I'm gonna put it on the desktop, just because when you try to edit in these, the mesh just doesn't come up. You don't have to do that though. If it comes up for you, then that's fine. You can open it in there. But when you open this up, you'll notice that there's the big huge mesh right here. If you have not seen this before, a lot of people have, but some people have not, so they don't understand. So you have this big huge mesh right here, and that's all down here. If you're familiar with NIF editing, you can change the textures by clicking on these and going to here and then here, and you can change the mesh to what you'd like, or the not the mesh, the texture. Now it's a bit hard, so because it's like I don't know, it has like the parking lot and everything on it, but it's a bit hard to see it. So when you do that, you're gonna want to notice that this is Skirt Boreal Forest. Skirt, this name of the file, you're gonna want to know this: skirt underscore Boreal Forest underscore 280 underscore df dot nif. I'm sure you're familiar with that too. So you're gonna want to notice that name, and then you're gonna go into your saved game, and you're gonna go to saved and world.zt2, and you're gonna go down here, and you're gonna go down here, and you'll see this thing that says environment equals world environments env1 Boreal Forest .xml. Now that has to do with what loads. Did I close it? No. That has to do with what loads this here. So that's very important. That name of that file is very important. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna look at that file name. Excuse me. We're gonna look at that file name. So it's env1 Boreal Forest .xml. Shoot, where is that? So, okay, here it is. So it's in here. env Boreal Forest .xml. env1 Boreal Forest .xml. So this controls everything, like the sky. This controls what the sky looks like. This controls what texture is on the sky. This controls what NIF file is used for this here, this zoo. So if you change this to alpine.xml, then it would be the outskirts of an alpine zoo instead of a Boreal Forest zoo. So you can actually change this and make, you know, an alpine zoo turn into a Boreal Forest zoo if you wanted. It's that easy. And so the Boreal Forest, basically you have this file env1 borealforest.xml, and that links to this because it loads that file. And then this file loads, where is it? That loads world environment skirt underscore boreal forest underscore df skirt underscore boreal forest underscore 280 underscore df.xml. And then that XML file, it also does the ring. The mountain ring is like the, you know, the background around the mesh. So you can edit that too. And then those two files, which are in here in the Boreal Forest, like it said, it loads this file right here, and then that file loads the NIF file, which is right here. Now, some people might not really understand how to do this. If you need an example, go to Cretaceous Calamities. So that's how you edit that. Also, you can edit the sound. Now, I don't really know the names of the different sounds that you can edit, but you can also go into here and you can choose which sounds that you'll find in your zoo. Where is it? Oh no, this isn't the right one. It's over here. So now I'm going to close all that stuff. It also shows ambience, which is, or no, sorry, ambient sound forest. That's the name of a file. And if you go actually into Zoo Tycoon 2, I think I do know the names. If you go into sounds, and then you can go into, these are all the sounds that you find in Zoo Tycoon 2. Now they're also put in the 300 files, I believe. Now they also put them in the 300 files, I believe, but I'm not sure. So we're gonna go into here, basically just go into here, and these are the sounds of some of the, you know, like this is the sound of the savanna. So they are named weird. You just have to look and find which one that you want. And there's this one, that's the tundra. I want to know there's some Boreal Forest one. The reason why you'd want to change it is because there's another Boreal Forest one. Like the Boreal Forest uses the same sound as the rainforest, but there is one Boreal Forest one that's different, and I like to use that one. Like this. And it's not this one, sorry. I'm trying to find it. Well, anyway, right here, here it is. This is the one I like. This is my favorite. My favorite one is this one. So, say if I wanted to use this one instead, I could change this to B underscore BF underscore loop or lop, and that would be that simple. Now, forest, the name forest, it should be in here, but it's not. Oh yeah, it is. So this is the one that's loading. So whenever you play the game, because this says forest, which is the file name of this, don't ask me why it doesn't have the file extension on it. I think that's kind of stupid. Unless it works, then it's fine. But every time it's gonna load this, because it's telling it to load this file, which is named forest. And so now you know how to do that, and you know how to change the sound, and you know how to change the terrain size and the outskirts of the zoo. And again, this leads to the terrain.dat file. And that's pretty much all there is. Goodbye, have a great day, and have fun. This is an LC Creations. Goodbye.